Okay, here goes a question. In the latest post that went up on your Instagram, which was a few months ago, you say that all of our experiences until we're about the age of 2 or 3 make up who we are. What I said was, and I said this entirely hypothetically and really provocatively more than any other way, that the fact of life is people don't remember their first few years of life. And what I proposed, psychologically and philosophically, is you don't remember the first few years of your life because what happens during the first few years of your life are not memories, they're actually you. In the very earliest stage of our life, we're being formed on a very deep level. And we become so one with those experiences that we can't recall the experiences as if they're happening in a dispersonal way where we can see those experiences happening to us, which is what memory is, what recollection is, because those experiences become us. Later in life, when we have experiences, they're on top of our basic self, so we're able to separate ourselves from those experiences and visualize them in our minds and re-experience them. That's what I said. And his question is, this doesn't sound right to me for 2 reasons. Number one, if that is the case, that the first few years of our life, our experiences are what make us who we are, what are we having, then what are we when having those experiences? In other words, if I am what happens to me when I'm 1 and 2 and 3, who was I before 1 and 2 and 3? And number two, I've also heard people say that we are our choices, right? I'm saying we are our experiences, and other people are saying we are our choices. Now, both of these, if we accept both of those, A, our experiences define us, B, our choices define us, how can we say that my I is my experiences or my choices? Because they're not tangible before or after the moment they happen. They happen for an instant, and then they're gone. So how can my choices or my experiences beyond the point in time in which they occur be who I am? Meaning, if we say we are our guf, our body, or our soul, which is a foundational thing which God has given us, that makes a bit more sense. Because before and after your time, before you're born and after you pass away, you still have a soul, and in some way you still have a body. Ruchnius and Gashmius, spirituality and materialism, respectively, even outside of one's own time on this earth. But if a human being is his experiences and his choices, in what sense can your memories and choices be considered you? Now, the answer to your question is, common sense is most uncommon. Every human being has an eye, which God gave them. Every human being has a body, which God and his father and his mother gave them. Every human being has a soul, which God gave them. Included in that soul is a personality, tendencies, leanings, innate dispositions towards certain directions versus certain other directions. And yes, included in that soul is what we call in Tanya the divine soul, which is interested in service and sacrifice, and the animal soul, which is interested in selfishness and short-sighted materialism. All of those things come from outside of us. Then we begin to live. As we live, we have experiences. And as we live, we make choices. And the choices we make become our experiences. The choices you make are you, meaning the consequences of the choices are you. You do something. You made a choice. A good one or a bad one. It's not the free choice. It's the thing that you chose that imprints itself upon you. So really, the 1 and 2 that you're listing here, A, a human being is his experiences. B, a human being are his choices, are synonyms. It's the same thing. Every human being, at every moment of his or her life, is the sum total of their experiences until that point. So we all have a base. We have an I, which I discussed in my first question that I'm answering for you today. We have a body and a soul, which God gave us, on top of that I. And we have all kinds of other things which we inherited from our parents and from our environment. And then there's our life. Our life is juxtaposed against so many things that came before our life, but consciously and subconsciously, intellectually and emotionally. The experiences we have, or as you're calling it, the choices we make, have a huge impact into our sense of self. There is so much more to us than what we understand. There's so much more to us than we experience. There's so much more to us than we remember. But the things that we've experienced and the things that we remember and the choices we made are very, very close to our awareness. We remember them, we feel them, we feel the effects of them, both the good effects and the negative effects, and they inform our future. They go a long way in helping us make choices, moving onward, moving past those choices. So the simple answer to your question is, when I say a human being is his experiences or his choices, I mean on a conscious level, on an awareness level. And that conscious level of awareness is predicated, is built on subconscious levels, all the way down to the eye. And therefore, it's apples and oranges, and they both fit in the box